Hi guys, I'm Veronica and I'm here with my long distance friends. Hi guys.
Hi.
Hi. Today we're hanging out in our beds. We're comfortable in our little pajamas. Today we're gonna be talking about the things that we wish we knew before we got to our young adult phase of life. Which I guess is not really adulting. Maybe it's adulting. I don't know. Just the things you wish you knew before we got to this stage. You're like being considered by society that you should be productive. You guys understand what I'm trying to say? Anyway, so it's just us talking to our younger selves and each other about the things we wish we knew.
All right. I feel we can do categories and we can start with love and relationships. I'll start with one advice to my younger self. Like sometimes it's not that deep, like there's some people like cried for as at that point, and I used to feel like the world is ending and nobody will ever love me like that again. And it was like after a 3-week relationship with some random person I met at a fancy.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I feel like to my younger self I'd feel like some things are not that deep. Like it's okay. You'll be fine.
You will be fine.
You'll be fine.
Mm.
Vera?
Yeah. I feel like for me, maybe I'll say there's no rush, I guess. Because I always felt, I feel like I always felt like everybody was in a relationship, everybody was just in love and doing things. I don't know, I felt like I was missing out to some extent.
Yeah.
But then I don't, there's no rush to like get into these things because like you might get into one and then it's like, hey, Sasa, what it's not giving what they said it was supposed to give, you know what I mean?
It's not even giving what y'all said it was supposed to give. No, I wasted my money.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
there's no rush. Like, just take your time, get to know people. Don't be afraid to go on many dates. Like, date, fail, I guess, have many different date experiences is what I would say. Because I feel like that I should have. Sometimes I wish I did that like a lot to the extent that like as much as possible. And dating doesn't necessarily mean that you're sleeping with the person. Just like meet many different people. Yeah.
So I think when you said Veronica had like different experiences, I think that's important. Like especially when you're young, because I feel like it's easy to like go into things thinking forever, and maybe one of them will be forever. But like for the most part, just like living your best life, enjoying the experience you're having. Making sure it's giving you happiness and joy at least for that moment. After Kisha Sinaisha, you move on. Like,
Hey.
It's what it is, right? The life. But like for those moments, enjoying it, and this is advice I need to take even to my present self. Because I feel like it's really easy to be close-minded to things. So I think my younger self could have been more open to like things, because I feel like my younger self has been closed off, especially like I feel like the idea of relationships makes me feel like I don't know. In a scary relationship, and I feel stifled. I feel
Run.
Yes, be on that track, ready to run. And maybe some of them are just the wrong type that would actually be stifling, but I think that maybe one or two here and there could have been maybe like something that worked. But anyway, I think just being open-minded is important.
Yeah.
Like not
definitely,
being closed off to different things, whether that means like whatever it is that you feel like you're not willing to try, maybe just giving it a chance. But also like I think the most important thing is choosing happiness for the moment, whatever happens.
Yeah. Nice. Like
do you?
Okay, I remembered something interesting when we joined that place we used to work at.
Every time you refer to this place, I'm just like, yes.
When we joined, and then we were doing the first conference, and then Helen Gishohi at the time was giving a speech, and she was talking about how she got her visa, I don't know, to the UK. I don't know if you guys remember that talk she was giving us. And then at some point she started talking about how in this story the princess saves herself. Like she was talking about how princess syndrome should end at that point, and we should not have that princess syndrome of like there's a knight in shining armor coming to save us and things like that. And I remember when she said that, it was so profound at the time, but I remember it didn't hit me as much until like the last maybe 2 years. Like it's when I started to realize that actually, like while growing up, there was a bit of conditioning on like there's someone coming to save you. And so every time I feel like this is advice to my younger self completely, that you are also doing the choosing. You should not stand there to be chosen. Like you're also doing the choosing. So every time you're meeting a person, you're not waiting for them to choose you. You're not waiting to hear what their proposition is. You're not waiting to know what they want to do. You also are a person in that relationship or a person in that courtship, and you also have a say, and you're also doing the choosing and saying, I don't want a person who's like this. I would like my partner to be someone who communicates more, and this person does not, and therefore I don't want to be
in this
situation. But as a younger person, I felt like I was doing a lot of being chosen and not the choosing, and therefore I would conform to what the choosing was doing rather than what I wanted. Like I never thought that my opinion would count, or that what I wanted was actually a priority, because the language that is worded around young girls growing up is like, oh, but who's going to do this? But who will like you if you do that? But who will do this? It's like, no.
Boys don't like girls who do this. Boys don't like this.
Exactly. So absolutely start doing the choosing for yourself, and you'll see your life change like really drastically, because you're a person too.
But
I
think this is sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, I was gonna say that's a perfect summary of like, I have gone through that same thing. When I was saying like I feel like I have missed out, because most of the time I was just waiting for the other person to choose me. Like I didn't even know my own worth, and like know that even I have something that I'm bringing to this table. And like most of the time the other person is bringing scraps to this table. No, where you literally have the
whole completely not worth it.
Worth it, but then you put up with it because you don't realize that you also have a say in that. And that's just that profound.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You
had something.
No, that's completely true. I feel like and this comes from having different experiences, and I think I'm doing a little bit of this right now, like having the different experiences and seeing like I like this, I don't like this, such that like if when you're actually in the process of choosing a partner, you can be very aware of the things that you like and the things that you don't like, and not making excuses for your partner when you start seeing flags. I was talking to my sister recently, and she said something that is simple yet profound at the same time. And it's you divorce the person you marry, meaning like the person that you end up leaving after however amount of time isn't that they changed, it became a different person. It's the same person you got into a relationship with, the same issues you saw, the same problems you had with them. You just excused them, explained them away,
told they'll change.
Expecting them to change, expecting them to become a different person, expecting or thinking you'll get used to it, or you can put up with it, or whatever, until you get to the point where you're like, I actually can't and I need to leave. And I think just like being aware of that earlier on, especially if you're the kind of person who gets into things really easily and then ends up like, putting up with BS. Like I think just being very aware of the signs early on and like calling yourself out and making excuses for your partner is really important. This is a tricky thing though, because like I'm an avoidant person, and so I think for me it's a little bit of the opposite, because I feel like it's also really easy to walk away from things that could be something at the slightest sign of any kind of discomfort or whatever. And so it's like it's definitely a balance depending on the kind of person that you are.
And definitely learning that balance too, right? So you only know what it is once you experience it, and the more you experience it, the more you can identify.
Something else I think is really important for especially like young African girls, young African adult girls, basically our younger selves, to know is that the relationship should benefit you, obviously, yes, like emotionally, but also physically. like the physical aspects of a relationship should not just be for your partner if you're a girl, it should not just be for the guy if you're a girl, it should not just be to please the other person.
Yes.
You should enjoy the physical
Both of
aspects
it.
of the relationship.
Mhm.
You should be able to take them at whatever pace you want to take them at, but like you should 100% enjoy the sexual aspects of your relationship. You should like, you know, that they at completely like figure out what works for you, what you like. If a guy doesn't make you climax or orgasm, they are not worth it.
If they do not eat the kuchera,
Keep it pushing.
I'm sorry.
I stand behind that one 1,000%. If they don't eat pussy, keep it pushing.
The soundtrack for this, so I like to move it.
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it.
We're just gonna move it.
move it.
Yeah.
I mean, even okay,
No,
even if they don't.
Those are the ones who outrightly say it like they're proud, and they're like, me.
You think it's something you should be proud of? How dare you?
Why are you introducing yourself with this terrible thing about yourself? Like,
yeah, why are you proud of this? Like, you should be embarrassed. You should be ashamed. You should be apologizing.
Right? So what? I'm sensing a sense of pride coming from you, and I think
it's misplaced.
Very misplaced.
It's very misplaced. Especially the ones who expect you to go down on them, and then they're like, "But I don't eat." What is that nonsense? What is that nonsense, Lord?
Get out of here.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
get out of here, man.
Throw the whole man away, all of it.
Throw him all of it.
Yeah, and I feel like no, like young girls, like young adults, please do not put up with that bullshit. Like you should enjoy that experience 1,000%. You should come. You know, like you should feel good. You should feel pleasure.
Don't be shamed for being a sexual being.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like,
Yeah.
don't be shamed for being a sexual being. Like, if you want to have sex, as long as it's consensual with somebody
It's
who is of
important that
age,
it's consensual, but yes.
consensual sex with somebody who is of age and is like, you know, everything is going okay and you're happy, please do not let anybody shame you for that. It is nothing to be ashamed of in any way, sense, or form. Like, no, please.
Yeah. And also, like, if there's something that the person is doing and you don't enjoy it, tell them you don't enjoy it. Like, just this whole like pretending to like more nini because you feel like you're going to hurt the egos and nini. No,
Yeah.
if the egos are so fragile, like I love this quote, "I'm too clumsy for your fragile masculinity," which is just like 1,000% true. So yeah, you should be able to tell them, and guys should be able to like.
I know that's deep.
Yeah, guys should take the feedback, listen, because what is the point of the experience? Both of you should enjoy it. So as a guy, you should listen and try and learn what works for your partner. Because also, by the way, women are different. Can you work for your previous partner? Haimanishi kukuja hapa mtumpia is the same thing. You learn the person again, learn what works for them. Yeah, so guys should learn to take feedback, and women should be more open to giving it. Wambia, it doesn't work. It's not doing the thing.
Yeah, just something like. Just on that giving feedback, I think something else that is like kind of overlooked sometimes is how hard it is to even learn how to give feedback because of our upbringing of like you're not supposed to say anything, you're supposed to take like endure blah blah blah. So it takes a lot of unlearning for even you to gain the confidence to be like, that doesn't work for me, you should do this, you should do this, this, that, and the other. Like, it's okay, it will take time, that's fine. But don't be afraid to try. Don't be afraid to just go for it because you might surprise yourself.
Yeah.
In the initial like sexual relationships, maybe you don't know what you like, but at the very least, you're going to know what isn't working. Like if someone is doing something that you're just like, this doesn't feel good. I think like getting comfortable saying that is really important. And then after some time, also like exploring yourself is important for you to figure out the things that work and the things that don't. And you can explore yourself alone, you can explore yourself like with your partner, you know, like you guys playing around with things, like trying different things to try and figure out the things that you like. But if you're with a partner who cares about you, they should care about your pleasure as well. And so that's something, they shouldn't be offended by it, you telling them you don't like something, you telling them to switch something up. They shouldn't be offended. And if they are, throw the whole man away.
We know what, it's a win-win situation. Either you get what you want, or you find out that they are not worth it.
That's true.
I mean,
Fair enough. Yeah. I think another category we can do is on self-confidence.
mhm.
What would you tell your younger self about self-confidence? My younger self was more self-confident, actually. So the thing I would say to my younger self is don't lose it. Don't you dare let these people get to your head. Like, there's so many people who honestly just don't get happy when they see you as a confident person, and therefore they work overtime to ensure that you don't continue being confident. And there's so many places where your confidence will be doubted, and there's so many places where you'll feel like you have to shrink yourself a lot. And I would just really like to tell younger me not to listen to those spaces and those people, because like your confidence is so beautiful and it's so wonderful, and it's like top dollar kind of shit, you know? So like,
Yeah.
I'm with you
keep that shit
completely on
up,
that one.
keep it up, and don't stop. Like, don't stop.
Yeah, no, completely with you on that one. I think my younger self needs to know that that confidence, that fire is what gets me to, gets me to where I am, is what has gotten me through every day. And so she should not lose it at any point, and she should fight anyone who tries to make her feel like she should lose it or shrink herself.
Yeah.
And in the spaces that, because they're definitely in the last couple of years, like starting to work in corporate America, like in this very white, very male-dominated spaces, like it's definitely been very intimidating. And sometimes I'm like, yeah, my 18-year-old self would probably do a lot better in these situations than my current self is doing. So yeah, props to my younger self. Yeah, I'll channel her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also because your younger self was not burdened with
Exactly.
likability, and probably didn't care much,
Conformity also.
and conformity. Like they're just like vibes, you know.
Living her best
Literally
life.
just like,
Exactly. Vera?
yeah. I mean, I feel like for me, I would say more, it's more on self-awareness than self-confidence.
Yeah.
I think I was always confident, but I wasn't always aware of that confidence until more recently.
Yeah.
Where like I've been in spaces, in like introspective spaces, and I'm like, wow, actually I used to be very, very confident. I think I still am. I don't think that has like faded really. I mean, I do get intimidated in certain spaces, but I think I think what I would tell my younger self is just pay attention and be more aware of the spaces, but also just continue not caring about what people think about you, because I feel like
absolutely.
I've always not cared about what people think. It's like, unless if you're not paying my rent, you're not feeding me, you're not giving me oxygen, also you're not making me come, what
3 F's. If you're not fucking feeding or financing me,
you know
why should I give
Honestly,
a damn?
for me, even if you do all those things, I still won't care.
That's honestly,
that's
I don't think
that's
that
a
it should
point.
be. It's not an exchange.
It's still not
anyway,
an exactly. It's still not an excuse for you.
I'm
to
still a person, even if you
Yeah.
feed me. But yeah, no one is feeding me. Just like, but in case somebody wants to feed me, you know me.
In case anyone out there is offering.
This is a cry for help.
No one is financing you.
No one is financing me, man.
Yeah.
But in case anybody has been considering it, like,
the position is open.
It's open. Unajua Venmo si ngumu kuweka kwa we can put the link in the description below.
I'll give you my account details. Come on, you put your account pale, you can deposit.
Filanga free. But I mean, I feel
also,
like
taking applications for the 3rd F as well. You know, all the people out there taking applications.
All 3 F's are open.
Miran is welding. Is that a cry for help too?
I think with I'm about to start going on references. You know, there's a lot of it's rough out there. The streets, my God, it's really rough.
So you want to be sure, like it's
Yeah,
like,
no, it has to be. I have to be sure
yeah,
what I'm
person
getting
next,
myself
like,
into.
let's normalize that. Like just giving
Right?
CVs. It's like this person would do X, Y, and Z. They do well in N and Y,
You
but
know?
not well in Z and X. And it's like, yeah, I have a reference, please. Yeah, and then like even me as I get my reference, I'm like, oh, I could improve here. I can see I have a 90%
Yes,
mark.
exactly.
Yeah, I have a 42%. How can I do better? What do you think?
Unakuja na scorecard, unakuja na
When we're on the
report card.
topic of self-awareness, you might as well
Yes.
have recommendations.
Haki ukweli, unakuja na report card unasema hata wewe unakuwa too honest with yourself. Even ndivyo nimescoriwa in the past. These are my strengths.
Yeah.
These are my areas of development.
Areas of improvement. Yeah, we don't even call them weaknesses. Just like we hear them.
Yeah, they're not weaknesses. The areas of development.
Development
Yeah.
areas. Yes.
Yeah.
What? Anyway.
Anyway.
3 Fs. Anyway, yeah. So don't give a fuck about all these many things that are, because there's a lot of noise. There's so much noise. Just don't pay attention. Just stay true to yourself.
All right. The next category I've just come up with is on shooting your shots.
Hey.
So that's like shooting your shots in anything, career-wise, what, and all those things. Like,
oh, okay.
What have been your lessons on shooting your shot? Like, what would you tell your younger self on shooting your shot?
I have one on career-wise.
Yes.
Just do it. Just
fanya.
Just fucking do it.
Like just do it.
Like just literally just do it. Like there's no, you most of the time you're your own biggest enemy when it comes to fear. Career-wise, like, because you're afraid that you're not qualified and you need this many things on your resume.
Yeah.
And like maybe sometimes you do, but just try and fail. Probably you will fail up, and most of the time, well, if you do reach out to a person, most of the time, more often than not, they are willing to help and they want to help you. So if you genuinely reach out to someone, like someone you look up to in a particular role or company or anything, if you reach out to them, more often than not, they're willing to help.
Yeah.
In case they ghost you.
Yeah. Like you have nothing to lose.
Like you have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose by shooting your shot career-wise, like, and you have everything to gain because they will guide you, hopefully, in the direction. If they can't help you, they will refer you to somebody else who can.
Yeah.
Or they will give you advice on what to do to improve.
And if they don't respond, you move on, right? Like that's why you cast out the net. You'll catch something, right? Like
catch something.
Maybe not. Yeah, and if like things don't work out, they don't work out, right? You take the time.
Yeah.
If you can feel it, you can mourn the loss, but then you pick yourself back up and try again, and keep it pushing.
Yeah.
Especially
to
all the young Black girls out there where the world is telling you can't do it, or you feel like you can't. Your spaces you're in are telling you can't. Imagine, just try it. Give it your best shot. Give it your goddamn best shot and try it.
Absolutely. Like I feel like what I'd tell my younger self is that I'm so proud of you. Like you took so many risks that I don't think, looking back to that girl, I would have trusted that they would be able to take the kind of risks that she took. And it's like, yeah, you did it. You shot your shots and keep doing it. Like absolutely. Like for that one, I would absolutely thank my younger self, because I feel like they were a bigger risk taker than me as I am right now. Like they were like always just like, okay, we're doing that. Okay, let's do it. And it took you to really wonderful places, and for that I'll absolutely thank you. Yeah.
All right, that is it from us today. Thank you so much for watching this video up to this point. You have gotten to the end. You might as well subscribe. Please like the video. Just subscribe. Please hit the like button and share the video with your friends if you liked it, and also feel free to share on with the comments down below, and
please tell us
tell us some of the things that you wish your younger self knew, or you would want to tell your younger self, or that you like about yourself now. Yes, and interact with us. And is that nimeacha kitu kingine? Like, share, subscribe, comment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And tell your friends about long distance friends. Be our friend. We like friends. Anyway.
Also, check out our Instagram channel if you haven't. So
yes,
we can
the
let you know when we
somewhere.
post new videos. We'll let you know when we post new videos on the Instagram channel.
Yes.
And other than that, thank you for us in our beds. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.